Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay, just got the notification. Okay, let me get into my screen. You are in tune too. Let me turn myself up a little bit in the cans. Okay, that's much better. Okay, you are in tune too. Boxing Talk with Rafi. What number are we on? 223. Let me do a sound check. With Rafi. What number are we on? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're in good shape. So, what's on the menu today? We got Joshua Fury in Jeopardy. Daniel Dubois, new trainer. Usyk versus Joyce in April. Okay, those are the main headlines. But first of all, let me stop sharing that for a start. Stop sharing that, and let's start. Let's line up the warm-in video to allow the area to populate. Where are we? Yeah, let's just. Let's just play a little bit of this. There's this. Okay, that looks good. Let me share my screen with you for the warm-in video. Let's line this up. Boom. Let's get it popping, as they say. To allow the area to populate. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just give you a little clip of this. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if you can see what I can see. Okay. That looks good. So, let's play it. Let's line this thing up. Stop the music. Boom. And run the warming video. Let's go. Catch up to it. Cut it off in the ring. Don't let it move around too much and take it away from him. He's going to be a tough person to catch and land on. Very skillful. But if I hit him in the nose, the body, and the head, victory should be mine. Okay, so those are the words of Joyce in relation to negotiations. Alexander Usyk, the winner becomes the WBO interim champion. So there's a championship belt in it. It's a championship position at stake. Does Alexander Usyk just sit on his laurels and wait for the unification fight to happen? Or does he face the dangerous Joyce? Is Joyce dangerous enough to finish Usyk, to stop Usyk, to win by points? I say yes. I say yes. Take a fight, Usyk. Prove your worth. You were given a championship position. You were given mandatory after not doing anything in the heavyweight division. Yes, you became lineal in the cruiserweight, but what have you done in the heavyweights? Nada. Dinero. Squat. So take the fight, Usyk. Alexander Usyk. Prove your worth against the guy they call Slow Joyce. I disagree with that. My position on that. If Joyce were so slow, how come he keeps hitting fools in the face? So this is an opportunity for Alexander Usyk to prove his worth. Does he have to prove his worth? No, he could play it safe and just sit it out and wait, or take a lesser challenge. But many people feel that Joyce is a lesser challenge. What should Usyk do? Sit it out, wait it out. How long will he be waiting, or does he take this fight and become a champion? I think it's a great fight. I think Joyce wins. I think he stops the Ukrainian dancer. Might be an outside view, but I said it. Been saying it for some time now. It's regular watchers, listeners to the Raphael Wilkins Combat Radio Show. We're now. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it on. Make the fight, Eddie. Make the night, mate. What say you? It's the Raphael Wilkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the likes, it's the subscribes, the comments, the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphael Wilkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the Joyce facing Alexander Usyk. If Alexander Usyk puts his pen to the paper, hope he don't lose his pen like the Wilder did. It's Raphael Wilkins, Combat Radio, and I'm out. Damn. Let's start up the music. Let's kill that and restart this. Hold on. Where are we? Okay. We're good. We're situated. Let me just get the mic right. Let's start this thing. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we got people in the building. Yes. Let's line this up a little bit. Okay. Let's have a look. What's going on? Okay. Let's bring that down like so. Readjust. Kill the volume. Let it play. Okay. So, boom. Let me drop the link in the chat. Like that. Okay. So, you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. 223. What's going on? What's going on in the chat? Okay, hold on. Where am I? Yeah, there we are. Okay, so Iron Kong, we in here. Yes. Philip Kong Roberts, the James Jameson, the Big John Fury, father of, what's his name? Luke, father of Luke. I told you Wilder will not let the fight happen. Don ZV, Mr. LDVC is up in the building. Don ZB, are you crazy? Are you crazy? The question, the statement in the question, the statement in the title. If you look very closely, you will see a question mark. And it reads, the title piece reads, because I know that's what you're referring to. The title piece reads, Joshua Fury in Jeopardy? Question mark, my good man. Question mark. You know, your boy Deontay Wilder, he needs to concern himself with getting a win under his belt. He's out of it. He's out. You know, I don't know. He needs to get his confidence back. What's happened? What's happened? Where is the 540 Rafi show? 540, it's here. Is it here? Isn't it here? I think it's here. It's here. What's going on? Xavier Miller would be a good guest. We've had him on a few times, Rocky. We've had him on a few times. And certainly, absolutely, he will be back. Yeah, absolutely. What's going on? J Blues up in the building. Okay. Who else we got? We got the Cal L. Salute to the Combat Nation. If Usyk's dancing doesn't make you want to get up and move, something's wrong with you. Oh, dear. Wilder's pen runs out every time there's a challenge, every time there's a stiff challenge. What's going on? I need this JJ versus Usyk ASAP. 100%. 100%. Wasn't Darth Vader Luke's father? Oh, yeah, well, in this case, it's John. It's good Johnny boy. Johnny boy, it's John. Wilder looking at Hellenius or Martin. Didn't I hear something through the grapevine that the Martin fight had dropped through, or was it my imagination? Did I dream that? Was it a dream that the Martin fight had fallen through? I don't know. I seem to have it in my subconscious somewhere. Okay, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't swear to that. Okay, so what are we talking about first? Okay, so it's the Usyk versus the Joyce. Okay, so Usyk versus Joyce is in the making, and Joyce says that Joyce says in the video that the negotiations are going very, very well, and it's looking set. It's looking like the fight's going to be set for April. Okay, so that leaves us with some interesting tangibles and some interesting intangibles. So what we do know is that Usyk, the WBO, appear to have stepped aside, set asunder their objections. They have set asunder their objections to Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fighting for undisputed. Looks like they've set that asunder. That is no longer a hindrance. That is no longer a blockage. That is no longer in the way to stop undisputed. So clearly there has been a shift from the WBO. So that's good news. And now it's just a matter of getting Usyk to put his pen to paper. Hopefully he doesn't lose his pen like Deontay Wilder did. But yes, I think Usyk needs to prove himself at heavyweight. It seems appropriate that he has a stiff challenge before he heads into a fight with either of the top two guys, either Joshua or Fury. It seems only fitting and appropriate that Usyk proves his mettle, even though he was granted the mandatory position, number one position in the WBO as a result of his being a lineal champion in the cruiserweight. But I went along with it for a while, and then I thought, hold on a second, you're telling me that a guy who hasn't proved his mettle at heavyweight is holding up undisputed? I thought, nah, get out of here. Get out of here. And so I had a change of heart. And yeah, now I feel it's only appropriate that Usyk prove his mettle at heavyweight. Okay, so that is my position on the Usyk situation. Okay, so let's get in the chat. Let's get in the chat and see what people are saying. Wilder, James Jameson says Wilder versus Dinosaurus 3. Wait and see. That would be highly unfortunate. Where are we? JJ versus Usyk is absolutely intriguing. I have Joe Joyce. Some people call him Slow Joyce. I have Joe Joyce winning that fight by points or even late fight stoppage. More likely by points, but sometimes you gotta go out there a little bit. Okay, what we got here? James Jameson says, what is this? Usyk was due his place. If you believe in mandatory fights, Wilder's fault, not Usyk. Well, what has Usyk done at heavyweights, though? What has Usyk done at heavyweight? I would be in favor of the WBC automatically putting him in the cruiserweight. Yeah, maybe even top 5. I'd be cool with that. Put him straight in the top 10 or the top 5. But to put him in at number 1 when he's done nothing in the heavyweights, nah. I went along with it for a while, but no, I changed my mind when Usyk was holding up. Usyk was holding up the number, the undisputed fight. A guy who had done nothing in the heavyweight division was holding up the undisputed fight. That makes no sense whatsoever. Fight the top guy, and then become mandatory. That makes more sense to me. What he's done is not the point. Usyk did not make the rules. What he's done should be the point. You know, it should be a question of what have you done to deserve this. So what he's done is the point, in my opinion. And those rules need to be changed. You know, you can't have a guy who's done nothing at the division holding up an undisputed fight. Absolutely outrageous. Okay, so what we're doing now? We're here for a good time, not a long time. So we're gonna move straight into. We're gonna make boom, 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 and in comes the man like Iron Kong. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, Rafi, peace, man. All good on this side, you know. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Blessed. Busy day. But, you know, I had to crack down, knuckle down, draw up the damn program and get this thing out to the people. You know what I'm saying? Don't like to disappoint the people. I had to get it out to the people.
No, man, I come to, I see 7:40 Rafi show and no Rafi. I said, no. It's wrong. Hey, let me switch headphones. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's cool in the gang. Where are we? Mr. Jones says, AJ getting cold feet. He can't handle the pressure. Are you nuts, Mr. Jones? Cal L, I'm backing Joyce. Not knocking Usyk, but the heavyweight division is a different kind of beast. James Jameson says, I think it's quite shady the way he lost mandatory position, but unification should take priority. I don't think he's lost the mandatory. I just think they're saying to him, they just regain some common sense. Go and fight a top guy. It's right. It's fitting. It's proper. It's the right thing. Okay. So what's going on? It will happen, Mr. Jones. Daniel Kinahan, straight up gangster. Fact. OMG. Well, Daniel Kinahan saying, no, I ain't done nothing. In Irish tone, of course. Okay, where are we going next? Yeah, I've watched their previous fight, but Joyce has grown into a physical specimen. I've downloaded a copy of that Boxing and the Mob documentary. You got a link for that? Do you have a link for that? Because I ain't seen it yet. Okay. All right. Okay, so I think I'm backing Usyk beats Joyce. Well, Usyk will clearly be the favorite. Usyk is the favorite. When you hear the Rafi talk about Joyce beating Usyk, that's an outside bet. That would be an outside bet. Usyk will be the favorite, but Rafi's going to be putting his money down on the underdog. No doubt about it. Okay, what's this here? Interesting, JJ. Who's JJ? Oh, James Jameson. Yeah. Pablo Escobar. I just like helping the poor. Okay. Right. So where are we heading next? Of course, we're going to talk about the headline piece. But you know, Rafi don't do the headline piece first. Very, very rare. Very, very rare. First, we go to other interesting stories. Now let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. Where is it? It's hiding. Where is it? Where is it? OMG. I can't find it. Where the hell is the story that I'm looking for? It's not there. It's not there. Well, as a matter of fact, let's get rid of that. Where the hell is it? Okay, let me go in search. Let me go hunting for the story. Uh-oh, what the hell did I just do? Let me go hunting for the story that I'm looking for. In the meantime, let's get that up there. Okay. So where is it? Let's look again. Let's look again. I don't know where it disappeared to. Is that even it? Is that even it? It's gotta be more. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what I was looking for. That is what I was looking for. Okay, so let's get that up on the screen. Stop sharing that. Start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Let me tidy that up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Uh-oh. Gone too far. Okay. How's that look? Yes. 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 So, what's going on in the chat? Where's Mr. Jones? Where is he? What's he up to? Okay. Parliamentary procedure at all times. Southpaw plus better feet, faster hands versus the naturally bigger man with a great jab. Great matchup, yeah. Southpaw with better feet, faster hands, yeah. Faster hands on the part of Usyk, sure, certainly. But, you know, he's put on some weight. He's packed on a little bit of timber on him to compete with the big boys. Packed on a little bit of timber on him to compete with the big boys. So don't expect that cruiserweight speed. Do not expect that. Versus the naturally bigger man. The naturally stronger man, yeah. With a great jab. Great matchup. Absolutement. And I reiterate, when I say I got Joyce winning this, I do understand that is the outside opinion. Have no doubt that Joyce will be the underdog. That's where my money's going, mate. That's where my money's going. Okay. Usyk will definitely be looking to better his Chisora performance. But can he, though? Clinging on to the referee, clinging on around the referee's waist, saying, help me, he's hitting me. OMG. Okay, so without much further ado, let's get into this piece. We haven't got into the main title piece yet, so hang tight. Okay, so Daniel Dubois to appoint Mark Tibbs as his new trainer after axing Martin Bowers as he looks to get his career back on track. Okay, so as the title piece suggests, as the title says, Daniel Dubois is set to appoint Mark Tibbs as his new trainer as a replacement for Martin Bowers. Coming off the back of his first defeat as a professional against none other than Joyce. Okay, you see there, Martin Bowers. I don't know why it looks like they're hiding. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what they're hiding from, but you see Martin Bowers there with the thumbs up sign, the thumbs up gesture in happier times. But it seems to me that Daniel Dubois was put in a position where he had to. He was put in a position put in a position where I smell a super bet coming here. Yes, yes, yes. It's brewing. It's brewing. Was put in a position. Daniel Dubois was put in a position where he pretty much had no damn choice. He pretty much had no damn choice but to change up his training arrangements. You see, and the reason why I say that is because during the Joyce fight, it became clear as time progressed. It became clear that there was no switching up of tactics from the Bowers. There was no switching up of tactics. There wasn't, okay, let's stop that and now try this. Didn't happen. And as they got into deeper and deeper water, even though the fight was very close, Joyce just seemed to have the edge. And not only did he have the edge, but Joyce had more ideas. His work was cleaner. His work was more concise. And ultimately, I mean, don't get me wrong, Joyce stayed on the outside because he felt the bombs of Dubois, and he said, yo, I better stay away from them things. Them punches are like big boulders landing on the side of your jaw, side of your face. And so, yeah, he kept it long and it worked. Joyce kept it long and it worked very, very well for him. However, there was a lack of ideas on the part of the Daniel Dubois camp. They were lacking in ideas, and it seems to me that all Martin Bowers was saying was do it, go harder, which was not what was needed. What was needed was tact and guile. What was needed was subtlety. What was needed was for Daniel Dubois to be slipping his head off the center line. What was needed was for Daniel Dubois to start parrying. What was needed was lateral movement. We needed feints. We needed a dip coming up with a left hook, Tyson-esque, Mike Tyson-esque. And you know who else did that before Tyson? Yeah, the marvelous Marvin Haglin. Just dip down and lunge in. We need some dips and lunges. We needed some head off the center line. We needed some parries. We needed some feints. We needed some double jabs. Yeah, and then come over, dip the head, come over with an almighty right hook or overhand right. That's what we needed. So, yeah, but no, Martin Bowers, all Martin Bowers could say was go harder. OMG. Let me, Iron Kong is back up in the building. Iron Kong. It looks like Daniel Dubois is, what does it say? Daniel Dubois is to appoint Mark Tibbs as his new trainer after axing Martin Bowers as he looks to get his career back on track.
Yeah, man. Smart move to me, Rafi, because after that fight, the first thing I say was like, yo, this man got to fire everybody. Fire everybody. I mean, fire them because they didn't prepare him properly. Fire them because they left him in there too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but somebody was on your show saying that after the fight, that yo, that eye was finished long before they stopped that fight. That eye was done a long time.
That was me.
And it was you. And they still let that man go back inside there to let that eye get beat up some more.
Reckless.
You know what I'm saying?
Reckless.
So, as you say, the most this man, because I mean, is that worse than lions in the camp? Go harder, lions in the camp. Which is worse? Which is worse, Rafi?
That's parity.
I mean, you have a young man in there, getting bludgeoned, and all you could say is to him to go harder. Go harder at what? I mean, the guy don't know what to do right now. He needs actual, clear, concise instructions. It's like when Klitschko had Anthony Joshua's ass rocked. My bad. Had him rocked and had him whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when Ryan Garcia got knocked down or whatever. Your corner calls to you and talks to you. You know, the fighter can hear your voice through the crowd, cutting through the crowd, giving you clear instructions what to do. Yeah. And there was no crowd, there was no nothing. So Daniel could have heard him clearly. and the man wasn't giving no advice on how to adjust. Nothing. It was just terrible. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a change needed to happen. Mark Tibbs was Dillian White's former coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's hope for the best with Mark Tibbs. I mean, it can't be no worse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's only up from here. And I'm glad to see the young man back, but I'm concerned that in the heavyweight division, his type of injury, people are gonna know to go for that eye.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I'm just looking at this thing here. What is this? Okay. What was I gonna write in there? I was gonna write in heresy. James Jameson says Rafi had Daniel Dubois over Joyce. Heresy, I say. Heresy. What I did say was I did kind of have Daniel Dubois over Joyce, but what I did say was that people are overlooking Joyce, and come the fight, people are going to be very surprised by Joyce's performance. And I admit I was a bit more surprised than I expected to be. I thought Joyce was going to do well. I thought it was going to be a close fight, but I thought Daniel Dubois would pip it. But on many occasions, I said that is a very, very close fight, closer than people think. So when I saw Joe Joyce pulling away, I was not totally surprised because I warned it. I warned people. People calling him slow Joyce. I said, well, if he's so slow, how come he keeps hitting people in the face? And so really it's very close to 50-50 for me. So I was not surprised when Joe Joyce, the far more experienced guy, won. In comes the fight doctor. Why Fury ducking though? Okay, let me go to a few more comments before I finish off the article. Let's have a look. Rafi has made a fortune with the bets. I don't think he's lost one today. No, I did lose one. I did actually lose one. He's one down against me. No. I did. I went down. I went down one. He's one down against me, or one each if you count Andre. OMG. Let's have a look. Philip, he's gonna lose a bet against me when Usyk Joyce happens. Everybody's coming at me. I could lose a fortune. I might have to sell the house. I might have to sell the house. Which one did I lose? I did lose one. I can't remember what it was though. Where we at here? Let's have a look. Aaron Daly up in the building. Where are we? Where aren't we? Okay, so yeah, we haven't got to that yet. Where's the fire doctor? We haven't got to that yet. We haven't got to the main topic yet. The headline piece, the Rafi does it different. The headline piece comes later, most times. Who's the fight doctor got? Usyk or Joyce? Good question. Good evening, panel and chat. Yes. Tone up in the building. Okay, so let me get back into this article. Almost pressed the wrong button there. What does that say? Boom. Where is it? There it is. Okay, let's see if I've missed anything from the article. Okay, so out goes Martin Bowers and in comes Mark Tibbs. That is the suspicion. I don't know. Daniel Dubois is set to appoint Mark Tibbs. Okay, so I don't know if it's official yet, but apparently he is set to do so. What's this? Aston Villa. Okay, it was first reported by the Daily Mail. The heavyweight has held talks with Tibbs. Okay, he has held talks with Tibbs. Okay, that's good to know. Son of veteran coach Jimmy Tibbs, over becoming his chief cornerman. Heavyweight is held thanks with Tibbs, son of veteran coach Jimmy Tibbs, over becoming his chief cornerman. Okay, becoming his chief cornerman, that's head trainer. Okay, and in comes Jalik, the leader. Jalik, how do you do?
Raphael, man, thanks. I appreciate the invite, allowing people to come on. I'm doing amazing, man. Shout out to the UK.
Hey, good to have you up in here. Okay, so right about now we're looking at this article about.
Oh, peace, Jalik. What's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah. Looking at this article about Daniel Dubois. Set to appoint Mark Tibbs as his new trainer. You'll remember Mark Tibbs as the previous trainer of Dillian White.
Right.
And out appears to go his old trainer, Martin Bowers. What do you think about that? How do you feel about that? Out with Bowers and in with Tibbs.
I think that's like a cop out in a sense. First of all, he's a bully, Daniel Dubois. He's the type that can't take it. He can give it, but he can't take it. And prior to him quitting against Joe Joyce, and people remember that he was the favorite. People was like, "Oh, Joe Joyce too slow. He can't do this. He can't do that." But Joe Joyce's manager brought up a situation where he had quit, and I think it was some amateur thing, and he just gave up. So from the looks of it, he just using a cop out. You know, a boxer's ego is real fragile and thin. So for him to deal with the defeat, it's easier to just say, "Oh, I need a new trainer," because you never heard no rumors when he was winning everything. But as soon as he lose one fight, he decides to get a new trainer. Now, is his old trainer that he just fired perfect? I'm sure he's not perfect, but it just looked like a cop out, and he will quit again. In his mind, I'm not sure if he should be. He might start thinking of a way out of boxing because boxing is not going to play with him. Everybody going to press him and test his heart. Now he can develop it, but his trainer can't give it to him. Nobody can give it to him. That's something that you have to have, and you can't really teach. So heart is more important in boxing than just like power. And hopefully he realizes that.
Okay, so that's interesting. That's an interesting point. It's interesting points. So you think that Daniel Dubois is a quitter?
Yes, and he's a bully too. He fights like a bully. Now, personally, he might not be, but he fights like a bully. It's a lot of power punchers are like that. Once you get into him, look like a Kovalev. See how Kovalev is, right? Once he can't knock you out, Andre Ward's way to get to him, and they can't take it. Now, all power punchers aren't like that, and it's also hard for a lot of power punches to make adjustments. That's why when you get drunk off power, it's not really a great thing because you're not going to knock everybody else out. And from a technical standpoint, he's pretty good. And I said out of all the younger up-and-comers, him, Jagba, and Philip Hergova, he had a nice technical sound base. But once I started studying and look at his character, because sports is a mental thing, I said Joe Joyce going to knock him out late once he takes his power. And then the way he folded and quit. Now, a lot of people going to say, "Oh, he quit because of his eye injury," and that's true. But we seen Nakatani persevere just a little bit longer, and he knocked out Verdejo a few weeks ago, and then he ended up beating Verdejo when it looked like he was out of there, and he got dropped. So, I mean, certain people can take certain things, but I see him unless he develops his heart. And I also heard about his relationship with his father and how strict his father is. See, a lot of children is only doing things because of the pressure of their family. That's probably his dad's dream. He's probably want to be working on computers or something. So we don't really know what's going on with him.
Why do I get the impression you don't like Daniel Dubois?
Oh, I like Daniel Dubois, but I tell people the truth. I don't lie to people. You can't be lying to people and cut them up. This game is dangerous, Raphael. I'm telling you, bro. You can't play. You can't play
Hey,
with
man.
You can't play with boxing, bro.
Hey, Jalik, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna have no 200 and something pound Daniel Dubois come fix my Windows 10. Okay, so he needs to go back.
He can open up his own security system in the UK.
Well, go ahead, do that, but you can't fix my Windows 10, sir. No.
Bro, he can't be playing boxing, man. I'm telling you, I don't want to see the guy get hurt bad, bro. Because
it seems like you're going to see him get hurt bad because he broke his orbital bone, and you're saying that he should have just carried on.
But if you look at the fight, Raphael, and everybody in the chat, go look at the fight. He was about to quit rounds. He was giving in already. Trust me, he was giving in. I was hollering at the screen. I was like, bro, he's about to quit because you look at his facial expressions, and he didn't even try to dodge the jab. But that's probably wasn't in his arsenal. But a lot of times when people quit like that, it happens prior to that. You know what I mean? So, but everybody is. I don't want nothing to happen to his eye. I get that part. However, you see, Nakatani went there, so it just depends on certain things. He's a bully though. He can't take.
Well, was Mike Tyson a bully?
In a sense, though, because Mike Tyson quit a lot. We know that too.
Was Sonny Liston a bully?
Exactly. So we know how power punches are.
Was George Foreman a bully? Listen, this is my position. When you're a power puncher in the heavyweight, you're gonna look like a bully because you're gonna walk across the ring and throw punches in a man's cranium. So if you're a power puncher, you're gonna look like a bully, generally speaking.
That's not true.
Well, no, this is what I'm saying. So you're gonna look like a bully if you're a power puncher in the heavyweight division. Generally speaking, is what I'm saying. Now, going beyond that, furthermore, I think you said it yourself. You said that he couldn't dodge the jab. He couldn't dodge the jab. So if you tuned in earlier, you'd have heard me say that one of the things that Dubois has to work on and develop is getting his head off the center line. And then he'll be able to dodge the jab. But he couldn't seem to get his head off the center line. That appears to be something they hadn't drilled. And that was, I believe, a major shortcoming. A major shortcoming in Martin Bowers, his previous trainer. Another major shortcoming is that he wasn't getting his head off the center line, and he wasn't parrying. So at the end of the fight, you said that you didn't really hear anybody say he needed a new trainer. Well, I did say his training situation it ain't good, because if he can't get his head off the center line, and if he don't know how to parry yet, then those two things, to me, those two things are essential. Those are essential tools in the toolkit. So I did echo sentiments. I did make the sentiments that, this training arrangement has to be changed. We saw the inadequacies. We saw the holes in his game. And so that wasn't going to be shored up by the guy who's been fighting under for years. No. If he hadn't put those kits, those tools in his tool bag by now, then he was going to have to go elsewhere. I'm going over to the Iron Kong.
Yeah, well, in terms of you're a man who watched a lot more boxing than me still. You know, I did see certain documentaries and certain people saying that Sonny Liston and George Foreman did have sort of bully personalities, because didn't George Foreman find a lot of excuses after he got beat up by Ali? Yeah. Sonny Liston was like a kind of a bad man out of the ring, you know what I mean? So them man really did have, and he didn't Ali make him quit.
Yeah.
So certain man like them who are used to beating people up in the ring, getting their way in the ring, when they find somebody who will not be moved and somebody who they can't get the better of, the heart goes, because usually it's been a bit easy for them. Daniel Dubois, and I blame Frank Warren for it a lot, because Frank Warren had Daniel Dubois believing he was better than he was by knocking out these tomato cans and these people, these trash can type of fighters. And then I remember Frank was mad at Eddie Hearn when Eddie Hearn said Dubois ain't really had, not Eddie Hearn, sorry, Sam Jones. And he said, you ain't had that middle fight. You had lower level fight, and you're jumping in over your head. Daniel Dubois said Joyce is the middle fight. I disagreed with that.
Mhm.
Joe Joyce is a very experienced dude.
Yeah.
However, in terms of saying like, you know, he could have persevered with his eye, I don't recommend nobody. There's a certain fighter, I forgot his name, whose eye is still destroyed. What's his name again?
Israel
Anyway.
Vasquez.
Who?
Israel Vasquez.
I don't know if it's a black guy. I think he is. Anyway.
In MMA, you got Michael Bisping.
Right. So eye injuries are not something that I put. But no, this guy's a boxer, I think. But anyway, I'll figure it out. What I'm saying is,
yeah,
eye injuries are something that if a trainer sees that your eye is gone, he should stop the fight because
you can't play.
You can't, because that has something to do with your quality of life outside the ring.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be here saying, you know, he should have persevered longer. I'm sorry, man. I mean, if you got a broken orbital bone, nerve damage and all of that, no. You need to get out the fight because you got to lead a life outside the ring. Damn that fight. You could fight tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. But in terms of bully tactics, Daniel Dubois, like Deontay Wilder, was sold a bill of, like, was fooled, was given like this illusion to buy into. You bought into that illusion. And when somebody was in front of you who you couldn't move, your heart gave out. And that's terrible.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think it was his heart that gave out. I'm going to go back to Jalik in a second, but I don't think it was his heart that gave out. I think.
No, not Dubois, you know. Not Dubois. I'm saying Dubois. I think Dubois might have tried to fight on.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, he also, I think, was shell-shocked with Joe Joyce because Joe Joyce was not moving. So he caught Joe Joyce a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I also think that has something to do with how he could have reacted to the fight because he couldn't make any adjustments. He didn't know how to make adjustments.
That's right.
And that's a failing of the coach.
Yes.
And a failing of the promoter for giving this guy people who didn't force him to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Didn't force him to change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the eye was, I believe Dubois would have fought on, but it wouldn't have been smart.
Well, my position is that I think that in this game you have to fight tough, but you also have to fight smart. If a guy knows he's in a position now where he can't win, where the orbital, where the bones, he's got fractures around the eye, and he's feeling it. Because I always said, if you rewatch my commentary on the fight, I said at the end he could have been feeling that for rounds before. He could have been feeling that for rounds before. So when he took the knee, it looks very sudden, but he could have known 2 rounds before that he was in trouble, that the eye was in trouble, and then he went out and gave it his best shot, and Joe Joyce was still there. So he called it quits. You see, I understand the argument that says, he's a quitter. He's a quitter. He took a knee, therefore he's a quitter. I can understand the argument, but you see, I have to put forth the argument for an intelligent fighter who knows that he's risking his career if he carries on. But if he takes the knee, he can save his career and come back to fight another day. That is my position. I think that he took an intelligent decision to take the knee, save the eye, and come back to fight another day. If he'd have carried on, people could have said, he was stupid, he was foolish. He knew the eye was broke. He knew the eye socket was broke. He should have took a knee. Why didn't he do the intelligent thing? So, whichever position, whatever he did, if he'd have carried on, people would have said, well, why did he carry on when he knew his eye was broke? And if he takes the knee, the people will say, well, why did he take the knee? He should have carried on. So I think it's one of those decisions that only the individual can make at the time. And the quitter thing, the quitter tag is a very harsh tag. And I think only time will tell. Only time will tell on that one. But me personally, I think he made a very, very intelligent move by taking the knee to save the eye. Okay, over to you, Jalik.
Yes, thanks for having me on. So when I was watching the fight, when was the fight? In November, I believe.
Was it in November time? Sometime in November, yeah. November.
And he's saying that he has a fight lined up for April, so less than 6 months. So I'm like, why would you, if you got an eye socket injury, why would you come back 5 months after surgery? That's pretty quick. Now, looking at the fight, we all know prior to the fight, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. He hadn't been the distance too many times. Maybe against Kevin Johnson.
Johnson, yeah.
His gas tank wasn't really there because he was knocking everybody else out. Now we all know, even on our own personal stuff, when you get physically tired, your mind does all types of tricks on you. So imagine fighting a guy psychologically, you hit him with your best shot and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't affect him. In addition to that, your gas tank isn't good like that. So that's why I seen him giving in prior to him quitting. So I seen it rounds before that he was going to quit, because I noticed that his gas tank wasn't that great. And I was like, okay, he's getting tired. So the easiest thing to do is there. So now I don't want nothing happen to the guy's eye. Now it's up to him to decide what he can take. And hopefully his eye is in great health. But going forward, if he doesn't have no eye injuries and he doesn't develop the heart, the same thing is going to happen, because he better develop stamina and endurance. So stamina and endurance is a mental thing, is also a physical thing. So his physical conditioning prevents him from mentally be able to deal with certain things. Because Joe Joyce, if you let somebody just hit you with a jab, imagine if Joe Joyce was landing bigger right hands. And you mentioned you don't think he was a bully. Bully is like a personality, a person that can give everything but can't take it. Now we look at Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua knocking mostly everybody out, but he don't fight like a bully. So that's an example right there of big power punchers that don't fight like a bully.
Maybe he fights like a tank. Maybe you could replace the word bully with tank.
No, bully is more of a personality thing. Like, you can go out there and knock everybody else out. Soon as somebody hits you back, you start retreating and start changing things. That's how bullies are. They can't take it back. So you step to the bully and things changing. Another like Kovalev.
Gorman. Did you watch his fight with Gorman, Nathan Gorman?
Well, yeah. So let me finish. Let me finish, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Are you part of his camp?
No,
like,
no.
and I appreciate you. I hope it comes back. You said
let's have some parliamentary procedure here.
Let's have some parliamentary procedure, please. Heresy.
Listen, y'all know deep down inside the boy don't got no stamina.
Hey, peeps this. So anyway, carry on.
That's it. He doesn't have stamina. If he's going to box, hopefully he makes it better. Is he going to learn how to move his head? We don't know. Is he fighting for himself, or is he fighting for a strict dad? We don't answer.
Peeps this. Okay, so what was I saying? The head move, Nathan Gorman. When he fought Nathan Gorman, I thought that he was rather calculated. He was very calculated. He wasn't fighting like a bully. He was he got his distance, and he would hop in and out of distance. Hop in distance, just within the distance, and let his fist go, and then hop out. His distance, his spatial awareness was marvelous in that fight against Nathan Gorman. That certainly wasn't a bully performance. That was a very calm, one of his best technical performances I have seen. But there were problems, and they were exposed by Joe Joyce. I said before the fight, if Joe Joyce is so slow, how come he keeps punching people in the face? And so it came to pass. So it came to be. I said a lot of people are going to be surprised by Joe Joyce. People were writing off Joe Joyce. I said a lot of people are going to be surprised when they see Joe Joyce's performance. I thought,
Let me just ask you, sorry, maybe you could add it on to what you're saying.
Yeah.
He fought like that against Nathan Gorman. And Gorman is not known to be a power puncher type guy.
That's true.
But he fought the more power puncher, or the more aggressive guy. Because Joe Joyce is not the slick guy. He's a come forward type of fighter, pressure.
Yeah.
But he fought the pressure fighter head on. You think Daniel Dubois was trying to prove a point to somebody, like he was really trying to stop Joe Joyce?
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe he's trying to prove a point, but I think that was he trying to prove a point? Maybe he was trying to prove a point, because the build-up was so great. Maybe he got caught up in the build-up. I see what you're saying. Why didn't he fight Joe Joyce like he fought Nathan Gorman? Yeah, that's a good question. Why did he not fight?
Maybe because people were saying before the Gorman fight too that Gorman was a better boxer, so he wanted to also show that he could box. With Joe Joyce come forward pressure, maybe, and essentially that night was supposed to be the coronation of Daniel Dubois as the next guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe he was really just trying to prove a point and really stop this dude.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to prove a point, but it was maybe ill-advised for him to try and prove a point. Maybe he, like many others, underestimated Joyce. Maybe he thought that he was slow. Joyce is a bit strange because I think I don't know. I think they've sparred before. They've definitely trained before. So it wouldn't be. I don't know for sure if they've sparred before. They've trained before. Have they sparred before? I don't know. But it certainly seemed like he underestimated Joe Joyce. Maybe he came in, tried to meet the juggernaut head on. And he did well. He did fairly well, but he was not wise with his energy expenditure. And well, that's another reason why. You see, Jalik, you said you don't know why it changed trainers, but I can see multiple reasons why it changed trainers. And immediately after the fight, I speculated that might be an option that he would take. One reason to change trainer is that after all this time being with Bowers, he's not getting his head off the center line when necessary. He's not parrying, and his conditioning is questionable. That's 3 points. But fourth, the main point for me why I needed to change trainers is that when he was in the thick of it and when he needed some help in the corner, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of advice, all Bowers could say was go harder, do more of the thing that's not working.
Raphael, listen, you don't charge as much as them guys. Maybe you can work his corner.
Hey, I do a better job. At least I get his head off the center line. At least I teach the guy how to parry. At least I'd have that guy chasing chickens up the mountainsides.
Somebody can help him, and think about it too. To add on to his personality, and I know I'm saying it hard on him, but that's probably what he need instead of somebody just being all nice to him. That's Look at the way he disrespected I couldn't believe the stuff he said about Joe Joyce's blind mom. I couldn't believe it, bro. I had to rewind. I was like, he literally said about the lady and she's blind. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, this dude gonna get knocked out. I'm sure Joe Joyce, that's his inspiration. That's very disrespectful.
Well, I gotta say, what happens if you're disrespectful to somebody?
That's man.
No, I'm asking you. If someone's disrespectful, what's gonna happen to them?
What you mean, karma? As far as like
no. If someone's disrespectful, they're gonna get disrespect back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's appropriate. Yeah.
So okay, so go say.
Hold on. I'm asking you a simple question. If someone's disrespectful, they're gonna get disrespected back.
Say to disrespect him.
No, I'm asking you a question. If someone's disrespectful, they're gonna get disrespected back.
Yes, karma happens that way. Yes.
Okay. So what if Joyce's mother was disrespectful first?
Is there a limit? First of all, she's his elder. Second of all, she's blind. That's like making fun of. That's like
hold on a second. If a blind person disses you, do they get a pass? They get a pass?
Yeah, I know you trying to get free tickets to his fight, and I know you're trying to get on his team. I know you're trying. You're doing good. You're doing.
I want the starter jacket.
No. To come at a woman, that lady that's blind, there's certain limits on you do. That's like
hold on, bro. I'm asking you a simple question, If a blind person disrespects you, do they not deserve to get disrespected back, or do they get a pass? Do they get a pass because they're blind? Does somebody get a pass because they're rude and disabled? They get a pass.
That's like we know how little kids are. They real rude. They don't have a filter, so they might say something to you. So you just gonna disrespect the kid back, and they 6 years old. They might. It's a limit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Raphael.
I'm not talking about a kid. I'm not talking about a kid. The example I gave you is if a disabled person is disrespectful to you, do they get a pass because they are disabled? That's the question I'm asking.
They have to deal with their own karma. But for you as another person that's, not disabled and you professional to stoop to that level is there. It's the same thing as the children, because you can have a teenager that's technically 18 and is an adult, but you say, oh, they young 18. I'm not going to stoop to their level. It's levels to it. Now the lady's blind. I don't know what she said to him, but that's her son. Of course she gonna big him up. So shout out to his mom, the beautiful Nigerian lady. Shout out to Joyce. And shout out to Daniel Dubois. And hopefully Raphael can get those tickets to his next fight and get on. It's going to be a wonderful addition, bro.
I want the starter jacket. That's all. I just want the starter jacket.
You ordered the starter jacket. You're going to get a job, insurance. You're going to get a lot.
Okay, if Daniel Dubois is out there, listen to Jalik, the leader. You know, if there's a role for Rafi on the team, you know, the Rafi wants to see the guy rise. He's 21 years old. Jalik, the leader's talking about him as if he's 31 years old, as if he's over the hill, as if he's got no hope, no chance. The guy you're talking about, Jalik, the leader, is 21 years old. Yeah, 21 years old. And the lady was disrespectful. She was flapping at the gums. She was chatting that.
What did she actually say though, Raphael?
I didn't take notes, bro. I didn't take notes, but she was flapping them gums. Them gums were flapping. You ever seen clothes on the line on a windy day?
I can trash it, but I mean,
you ever see clothes on the line on a windy day? well, that's how the lady was flapping them gums. Them gums.
Yeah, I would have left that though.
Sorry.
Yeah. I can't do what you say, but I would have left that though. I would have left that. I would have left that one.
Yeah, I mean, but Jalik made the point, and it's a fair point, that we in youth sometimes you say things that perhaps you wouldn't do with a couple more years under your belt. A couple more years under belt. So if Jalik is giving Mrs. Joyce a pass for her vision impairment, then is it not reasonable that you could give a pass to Daniel Dubois for being 21? We gotta play fair here. We gotta play fair here. If we're giving passes out, then you can dig in that pocket there, Jalik. I'm sure you can find another pass.
I'm just showing you what's in his personality. Those things make a big difference. But shout out to Raphael Dawkins, the trainer / public relations representative / manager of Daniel Dubois.
Well, we gotta support the youth. We gotta support the youth, Jalik. We gotta support the youth. And
cover though, I absolutely want him to. Actually, I hope he does.
Yeah, man, I haven't given up on him yet. People are giving up on him out there, saying he's a quitter, is this, is that. But the ref ain't giving up on the kid yet. He's 21. He's got lots of learning to do. And yes. Okay, we got the Uncle Burnt apostrophe up in the area. He fell in love with his power a little bit, but hey, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. You got to find out. You got to find out the rights and the wrongs. You got to find out your style. You got to find out what's lacking. The eye looked damaged from the early rounds. Yes. He couldn't see through the eye. By the end of it, could have been a lot worse than a damaged eye. 100%. We're scrolling through the chat. With all due respect, do we have confirmation that he suffered an orbital bone or nerve damage? Well, apparently he's got a doctor's letter. Frank Warren's got a doctor's letter. I don't know if he's shown it yet. Where are we going? Where are we?
I got a question though. Did Kell Brook show his doctor paper?
Did Kell Brook show his papers, his doctor's papers? That's a good question. I really don't know. I really don't know.
What is person here talking about? If the man actually got his eye broken, the man eye messed up, bro. What's wrong with y'all in the chat?
Yeah.
But do you think every injury is real, or do you think sometimes that could be propaganda too, though? Iron King.
No, I think the man eye mash up. That's why.
Relationship. Because if he didn't have the eye injury, it would have been 100% quitting. Now, without the eye injury, it's like with the eye injury, it's like saving face. Without the eye injury, is no saving face. So his perception, we dealing with perception and we dealing with the media. It changes everything. So that's why you can see a person that didn't really get hurt. They can say that. And we all know a lot of times in camp, fighters are overweight, but they'll fake an injury, but they'll say, "Oh, he got an injury," but it really be that they overweight and they can't lose weight in time. So everything isn't always real. So I mean, is he? I don't know why he's coming back so fast if he got a orbital bone injury, because that's dangerous. He need to let it heal up a little bit. But maybe Frank Warren got a guy that
But wasn't they saying the same thing about Tyson Fury? His eye hasn't healed yet after the Otto Walling. Didn't they say the same thing about Tyson Fury after he got his eye cut by Otto Wallin? They said no, if he's coming back too soon, the eye's gonna open again. Same thing they said about Otto Wallin.
I thought that was worse than the stitches. I don't know. I just don't. Hopefully the guy Daniel Dubois, if you listen to this, man, hopefully you get better. You know what I mean? And make sure you hire Raphael. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, hey Daniel, if you're listening, I know you're a fan of the show. If you're listening, I mean, listen to Jalik. You know what I'm saying? Listen to Jalik. What's going on in the chat? What is going on in the chat? At 17 and a half stone, man getting catty with the blind lady. That's a poor show. Lacks character. I don't know. So she gets a pass. She can say anything and she gets a pass. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying you're right, not saying you're wrong. Dubois is 23. Apparently. Where are we? Come on, his eye was. I totally agree. Jalik is suspicious. I don't know why Jalik's so suspicious. Jalik might not fully believe. Jalik might think he's just putting it on.
Because every eye that's swollen ain't necessarily a break. So I don't really know. It's up to him if they telling the truth. But I can tell you that everything that these people in the media be saying isn't true. I mean, we know that. I mean, they not 100% telling the truth all the time too. So it's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. So I'm wishing them, But
well, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the doctor's note yet. Hopefully, Frank can produce that to allay the concerns of the non-believers. Okay, so it's good to have both sides of the coin. Very good indeed. Okay, so we're gonna stop that story. We're gonna drop that out, and we're going to the top topic, which is Joshua versus Fury. Joshua versus Fury in Jeopardy? Question mark. Let me just write that in the chat so people can see what the topic is. Let me close that one down. Let me write this one. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to write it. I can copy and paste it. Let's do that. Let's try again. Copy and paste. What's that there? That's in there. Add that and show that. Okay, Joshua Fury. Let's put the verses in there. Joshua versus. Where is it? There it is. Let's edit this real quick. Joshua versus Fury in Jeopardy? Question mark. Okay, let me show that. Okay, so let's talk about it. What is this here? That's there. That's in good. Okay, so as we know, where's the thing? As we know, there has been. I don't know. Did you see the documentary, Jalik? The BBC documentary of Panorama, Boxing and the Mob?
I see. Yep.
Okay, so as you know, that's caused ripple effects. That's called ripple effects throughout the world of boxing. And now people are saying, well, hold on. People are looking to the broadcasters. And saying, well, should you be doing business with this MTK guy, Daniel Kinahan, who you can see there on the screen? Should you be doing business with him? Is it ethical to be doing business with a guy who is wanted in several territories. He wanted for questioning. He's wanted in his homeland, so the charge could be pressed against him in the area of importation of illicit substances. Yeah, I think they want to talk to him over in. There's a case still open against him in, or is it France or is it Spain? I think it's Spain. So yeah, some people want to talk to him, but yet Tyson Fury comes out and says, yeah, this is the guy who made the fight. This is the guy who made the Joshua fight, the Joshua Fury fight. And now there's been a bit of a change. I watched a few small documentaries, a few shows from Ireland, Daniel Keenan's homeland. And they're saying they're looking to the broadcasters now. They're looking to the broadcasters. A lot of people are scared of him. Shout out to Barry McGuigan. He just spilled the tea. He spilled the tea all over the place. And now they're looking to the broadcasters to make a move, to say, no, this is unacceptable. We can't be dealing. Your money is not good here. And so the question then has to be asked, Joshua versus Fury, is it in jeopardy? Jalik the leader, your thoughts and observations on this topic.
Prior to me seeing the documentary a few days ago, I had heard about this situation maybe like a year or so ago. So it was very interesting to see the documentary. I was okay, how can I watch this documentary? It brought up it talked about many other stuff it did before, but I didn't know that he was still working with them, allegedly working with MTK Global. And he also brought up some things because Barry McGuigan, he was like looked like allegedly putting his life on the line, coming up with the things that he was saying. And the point where the point where they talked about Carl Frampton not having to pay any money to be advised by Daniel Kinahan was very, very interesting. So I looked at it. I was like, man, are these guys, is this really going to happen? And it almost made me realize, go back to the situation with the UCAD and Tyson Fury. And you guys live in the UK. Shout out to EJ. Is it like a witch hunt against Tyson Fury? I don't know. It seemed like, I don't know if it's a witch hunt and they're doing something, but it is pressure on it. It will look crazy depending on everything that's going on with Daniel Kinahan for them to put the fight on. That's a good point you brought up, Raphael, because I didn't think of it like that. Because living in the US is kind of totally different because we get, to be honest with you, we get Ireland mixed up with UK and Scotland and Wales and all that. I kind of get it mixed up. I don't really know exactly how it all works with the television. So is the fight going to be delayed? It's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say, because that documentary does create a snowball effect, like you said, a domino effect, because now people is paying attention. But when you have certain people in place behind the scenes, they can control the media. Once you can control the media, then we live in a world where everybody has a short attention span. So they can create another thing to make people focus on, and they'll totally forget about Daniel Kinahan. That's how the game works. So it's interesting.
It is interesting indeed. And before I bring in our new panelist or guest, let me go back into the chat. Somebody said they had a link. Somebody said they had a link to that show. So for all the people who have not seen it, just drop the link in. But I know what the problem is going to be. It's because links are blocked. Links are blocked up in here. But maybe if you drop the link in, I'll be able to see it. Drop the link in and maybe I will be able to see it. But anyway, in comes the man like EJ Boxing Live. EJ Boxing Live, how do you do?
We're saying Jalik, we're saying Penal, we're saying Rafi. What's going on, bro? Hey, I just got breaking news, innit?
Okay.
Tyson Fury's been shot, innit?
What?
Yeah.
I know his house was bombed once. Hold on, let me
Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, MG. You had
Yo,
me going.
right,
You had me
man.
going. You had me going. You had me
I
going.
know that would work. But look, hey, if you want to check the link, it's on BBC iPlayer over in the UK. I don't know for the American people. I'm not sure if they can see it yet, but some of them have actually probably can see it. But yeah, BBC iPlayer.
But if they can't see it, then whoever's got the link, someone said they downloaded it. So whoever's got the link, drop the link in the chat. You had us go in there. You had us go in there, EJ. You had us go in there.
Yeah, I know. Hey, no, listen. Hey, so listen. The thing's getting around, yeah, right. I just heard Mark Breland. Mark Breland was just on Spencer's show.
Yeah.
Now, Mark Breland. Listen, this is. I don't know if you heard it because obviously your show's going now.
Yeah.
So Mark Breland has come out and said that Deontay Wilder is crazy. He made the stuff when he lost. Yeah, he's making up. This is what Mark Breland said that right now. Let's listen to it. Yeah, it's on the Stamina for Sale.
Hold on. Hold on. We know where it is. The point is, I thought that Breland was just gonna do his normal nonsense where he just talks around things and go,
No, straight up. He said Wilder's crazy. He goes, Wilder, when he loses, a guy makes up. He goes, there's with the water. If you look at it when he goes, this is the first thing he said. If you look at who was carrying the water, he said the JD's had the water in his hand. He goes, I don't carry the water, which is true. If you see when he got up in the apron, he never had the water in his hand. JD's had the water. So how did he spike the water? That's the first thing he said, right? Next section he said Wilder's crazy. He said Wilder's crazy and Wilder don't listen. I told him what to do. And I can bear witness to this, right? In the first fight, when he fought Fury, Mark, the first thing they interviewed him straight after the fight, you can check it out, right? After the first fight. The first thing he said, I didn't follow the game plan. Mark Breland told me I should work the body, but my head I got carried away in the fight. I just wanted to knock him out. You see, he said that in the first fight. And what Mark Breland said is that he didn't listen. He said, I told him the thing. He goes, there's no way he could beat Fury. He goes, you reckon you beat Fury in the future? He goes, there's no way he beat Fury because he don't listen. He doesn't listen to me. He doesn't listen to no one. He made up all the stuff he's saying about the gloves, and that goes JD's was there, right? And he goes, it didn't matter anyway, because he weren't going to beat him anyway. And also he said, this is the thing what Tunde and kind of Spence was bothered. He said that Fury is going to get in the head of AJ and beat him as well. That's the thing that shocked me. He said Fury going to beat AJ as well. He said Fury plays too much mental games. And he said after that, and when he said no mental games, I think what's happened is that when Fury was doing that stuff to Wilder, it really got in Wilder's head. Now, that makes sense now, because when Wilder got into the fight, he looked like Wilder was thinking about a lot of things in his mind, what Fury said. And that's what Breland was saying. He said he got in his head, proper gets in your head. And he said he'll get in AJ's head as well. And when he gets in your head, the fight's over. And he said he'll beat him as well. He said he wasn't even talking about styles. He was just talking about mentally. Fury knows all these mind games to get in your head. And also with the gangster affiliation, that's a lot of heat, That's a lot of heat to get in. But the most thing he said that Wilder's chatting rubbish about all the stuff he's making up. He said Wilder's chatting. He goes, he's just making excuses. He lost the fight. That's what he said. And he said Wilder. He said no one can do nothing with him because he doesn't listen. And then allegations. Yeah, he said he's crazy. So that kills a lot of things. That because I listened when Breland said that. I take his word for it more than anything else. And he said, why? They said to you, why have you come out? He goes, people know me. People know about my reputation. I don't need to say anything because they know what kind of man I am. I don't need to say anything. So that right there wraps up a lot of things to me, and it proves. And I know this as well for a fact that when a lot of fighters lose, all of them, George Foreman when he lost to Ali, Sonny Liston when he lost to Ali, and Manny Pacquiao when he lost to Floyd Mayweather. Loads of fighters, when they lose, the worst thing they do, they never blame themselves. They always blame someone else. It's only rare, like Joshua, to be fair, that he said, you know what, best man win. Joshua's one of the rare cases. But a lot of people, when they lose, they always make excuses. So on that respect, Joshua's got an uphill battle. Now, if the fight, I don't know what's with the killer hands and the whole thing. Well, this is what I just found out this couple of minutes ago as well. That the BBC crew who filmed the panorama, they've been threatened. Apparently, they've been threatened. Wow. And they've been threatened by someone in crowd. I don't know who it is, but they said that the whole team who filmed that thing, they've all been threatened, and the police has to 24-hour security around them. So that just came at us now. Wow. You know what I mean? Yeah, someone's warned them and said, listen, you're banging trouble for what they did. And you know the thing is, a lot of people come out and on the side of it. Now, there's a lot of people affiliated. I'm not saying they're crime people, but they, they've been to jail and they want a second chance, right? So they're looking at like, well, Danny Kinnahan has done anything. He's got a clean record. He ain't done nothing. Right? Fine. He ain't done nothing. A lot of stuff that was done by his father, right? So they're looking at it like, why are you keep tarnishing me with that name? But the fact of the matter is, is that Baron McGregor's fighters did leave him and did go to mtkglobal. We do know that, right? That's a fact, yeah.
Did Breland say that Wilder is done?
He said what? He said Wilder can't beat Fury. That's what he said, and he said AJ can't beat Fury. That's as much as I listened to, because with Spencer and Tunde, they keep interrupting. So after I got the information I need to get, I skedaddled, bro. Because Mark Breland talks very low, and it's like I just want to get to the main points because they
want to get the soundbite. So back to McGuigan losing fighters.
Yes, okay. Back to McGregor losing fighters. That's a fact that they went with mtkglobal. He didn't sue them, mtkglobal. He sued obviously the fighter. Now, I listened to the interview with Frampton. It's there on some other channel I was listening to him. He said he vehemently hates the McGregors, but he recognized them as good boxing people, but he hates them. He wouldn't really go into why, but I think what people are saying is that when they got with the McGregors, it's just like they were draining them of money. You know what I mean? They taking money from them, taking too much money from them. But this is the thing, right? Let's look at this, right? And this will happen. This is the same thing tagged on to Don King. Mm-hmm. Who was Frampton before Baron McGuigan and the McGuigans put him out there?
Nobody.
Right? So they invested a lot of time and money that necessary is not accountable. So, give examples. He's an amateur boxer. They recognize that he's going to be a good talent. So they start the ball rolling then and making sure maybe he needed some money. Maybe they finance him, give him some money for this and give him some money for that because he ain't got no money, right? Mm-hmm. So if they put all that investment and that time and money into the young man, that they want it back. They want it back at the back end. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So and the fighter starts thinking, well, I don't think you should take that much out. But it's like I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of promoters, and when they see the talent in the fighter, they give them a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of attention, and they're always there for the fight. Baron, he's even one of his, I think his godsons. I think one of the McGregors are godsons to his kids. So they've been to weddings and all that stuff, right? And the only reason why they fell out is because at the top end of the sport, where he's supposed to be making the biggest paydays, they're taking the biggest cut. For example, Baron McGregor is taking 25%, right, as the promoter. His brother's Baron McGregor was Baron McGregor's brother, right? He's the manager. That's another 25%. So already that's 50%. Then Shane McGregor is the trainer. That's 10%. So what's that? 60% of his money in what he won in the World Boxing Super Series, right? So he won 50. You know what I'm saying? Oh, not him. I'm talking about that's Taylor. But basically, what I'm trying to say, every time you fight, they take that money, and also I think they charge you for training. But with mtkglobal, they don't take 25% of you. In fact, when you get with them, they give you money. They give you money. They give you money. So you don't even lose money because they've got, because they've got money laundering coming through. When you get with them, they give you all the sponsors. They give you their sponsors. They give you deals. You make money. Now look at him. If you look at Frampton, when's the last time you seen him fight? That's another thing as well. People need to recognize as well, because they're giving them all that money. Where's your hunger? Where's your hunger to get back in the ring? Look at this, right? He left Baron McGregor.
Hold on a second. The fact that they're allegedly not taking management fees from certain fighters, that suggests money laundering.
Maybe he gave him a discount because they both Irish. Isn't Cole Frampton from Ireland?
Yeah,
he is.
Maybe he gave him an Irish discount. You know how you hook your people's up.
Yeah, but Baron McGregor's Irish as well. He didn't give me but boxing.
Where's Baron McGuigan's discount?
He deal with the boxers, so maybe he gave him a...
That smacks of laundering. That smacks of laundering. That smacks of washing money. No, don't worry. You keep that. Because on their books they can say certain things. So that smacks of money laundering. So if they're trying to distance themselves from money laundering, then how the hell are they not taking fees? If you're not taking fees, how the hell are you running a business?
I don't know, because he can. I don't know, man. Because
exactly. That's what the money's being thrown through. But listen to this. Look at Frampton's last couple of fights as a fighter right? Leaving the McGuigans, and look, when he was with the McGuigans, he was fighting Santa Cruz, Fighter of the Year, and all that. When he's not with the McGuigans, remember, fighters work on hunger to get their money, right? Okay, okay, your money's getting perched, half your money, but you know when you know the deal when you got with these guys, they say, look, fair's fair. You know, we put the investment, we're going to get it back at the back end, so you know this, right? But listen to this. Look at Frampton's fight with Josh Warrington. It was like, bro, like they said that. Or he just got caught off cold. If he was with the McGuigans training, I think he would have put up a better fight because he got washed. He got absolutely washed, yeah, by Josh Warrington, right? And that's my whole point. The guys, what's happened to the fighters is they're eating so much money, their bellies are getting big like Father Christmas. And what's happened is that their hunger is gone. So now they go around, yeah. It's like, oh, Killian's a great guy. You know, he looks after us. Yeah, he's giving you, you're getting money, but it's just somewhere to put their money. You know, I don't necessarily think they care about you. It's just like, but boy, we could just put it through the boxing and we maybe don't get in trouble because the boxers need it. Yeah, they do need it, but you're killing their hunger. All the fighters, and this is why I say Josh Taylor's going to lose. Because all these guys, yeah, they complain they're not getting enough money, but that money, lack of money, makes them even hungrier. It makes them hungry to fight. If you give fighter a lot of money, then why do they need to fight? That's the reason why they fight, for the money for their family.
Well,
so what's going on?
Let me put this around the table. Let me put this question around the table. Okay, Jalik the leader.
Yeah.
There's a bigger question here. There's a bigger question here. If you have illegitimate money, I'm not saying it's illegitimate, but that's the hypothesis of the documentary. If you have illegitimate money, overriding and killing those with legitimate money, the killing businesses with legitimate money, then is that for the good of the sport? Because let's look at it long term. This allegedly illegitimate money is coming into the sport. That then impinges those who are running legitimate businesses. Is that for the long-term good of the sport?
That's a great question, and this kind of parallels Al Heyman. We know Al Heyman was a very rich man and successful prior to him coming to the music. Prior to him coming into boxing, he was with music. His first client, I believe, was Vernon Forrest, and his first client was Vernon Forrest, and then he built up. So you can see the parallels between MTK Global and also Al Heyman. Now, EJ is right where you get rich and it kind of takes away your hunger. However, do we want fighters to do all they can and then start talking slow but don't have insurance? So it has to be a balance in place. So the only way to do that will be to have it more structured. It's like the Wild Wild West in boxing. I'm pro fighter. I'm not pro promoter. EJ, are you trying to get a job with one of these promotional companies, bro?
What I'm saying to you, you think it's Al Heyman? Is that a question?
Hold on. He's just asking about the background noise. He hasn't finished. He's just asking about the background noise.
Well, I'm sorry. That's my hold on. So
that's his dog. No. Hear what I'm saying. Al Heyman's not like the Killigans. Al Heyman's not allegedly throwing fighters off balconies.
Hold on, let Jalik finish. Let Jalik finish first, please.
Before you ask me a question. Okay.
Al Heyman doesn't charge as much as the other promoters, so that's why he's able to build up his client base faster. Also, Al Heyman has a lot of income to deal with, and he works with a lot of different business people, so he can build up his client base very fast. So both of them has a very fast client base, and they can pay their fighters more, and they can give them leverage, so that way they won't be relying on the dirty promoters. It's a dirty game out there. So other promoters, other guys can't compete with that. It's kind of a shame. But as a fan, I want the fighters to I want to see the best fight the best, and I want the fighters to get paid as much as possible. That's
I hear what you're saying, but listen. Okay, let me go back on that now. So I haven't heard the Al Heyman leaving Al Heyman consequence of you getting thrown off a balcony or being shot in any way. I'm not saying that's alleged. That's one thing about Al Heyman. Now in terms of building fighters, that Al Heyman could either look after you like he did to Kid Chocolate and he did to what's that guy who lost to Andre Ward? What's the guy's name again? Chad Dawson, who get in trouble with the police. or he could let you just carry on making your money like Errol Spence, you know, and continue helping out Mayweather or whatever, right? And that, but I haven't heard of when you leave Al Heyman that you're banging in trouble because the MT Global brand. Yeah, remember again, we're not talking about normal crime. We're talking about a mafia. That's what they said they are. They're a mafia crime syndicate with weapons and drugs and money laundering, which is all free, right? And they're not no longer in Ireland. That's how bad they were. Where they were basically wherever they go, there's killing. Good example. In Ireland, they said there was killing. When they went to Spain, Jamie Moore, a fighter, was there at Killian's mansion, whatever, and some guy intruders broke in. They were looking for Killian, and they thought Jamie Moore was him as a boxer, and they shot him in his leg. Then you got Kell Brook getting stabbed in the leg, right? Also in Spain. Then you had Annie $1 million collar who got smashed in the back of the head. That also happened in Spain, right? They left Spain because the police said it was too much violence happening, and now they're in Dubai, which maybe the fight with Joshua and AJ might happen, right? Al Heyman hasn't got any of that going on, or even Don King in that respect, yeah? I know people complain about Don King in terms of the contracts, yeah? Right, but there's no allegations of the fighters, yeah, getting beaten up and broken legs and all that stuff. This is enough. That's on the level. Now, I'm not saying Killian is doing that, but that's what I'm hearing. And also, when it comes down to the fighters, they have so much control. Like a lot of fighters who are signed with them, they've been told from the jump, when you sign with us, we tell you what to do, we tell you what to say. Al Heyman doesn't do that with none of the fighters. So when you repower that, it's a complete different, right? We're talking about real hardline gangster, right? That's what we're talking about here. And then the whole thing with the glove scandal, but Breland's come out and said, Breland's threw that in the hot water. He said, listen, I don't know nothing about JD's knows about that, the glove stuff, because he was in there. And the water was with JD's as well, right? Now, all we know is the strategy that Wilder didn't listen. That kills that right there. But Tyson Fury is affiliated with them, right? And there's a lot of underhand stuff that Tyson Fury has been involved in even before the Killhands got on board. So all we're saying is right now is that you want a fair chance for the boxers. I'll put it to you, Jalik, yeah, that since these guys are involved, it's not going to be fair for either boxer, because if they come up to the other boxer and say, if you don't throw this fight, your family's banging in trouble, then what? They're already I'm saying there's reports they're threatening the people who made that program. Al Heyman ain't doing none of that stuff there. That's all we're complete different. We're in a complete zone right now. We're talking about organized mafia gangster. That's what we're talking about here, mate.
Okay. So Mr. Jones doesn't understand the concept of the super chat bets over here. Mr. Jones, when you do a super chat bet, that's exactly what it is. It comes into the super chat, old boy. So that's how it works around these parts, my dear fellow. So, just so you know. Okay, yes, some good points there from EJ Boxing. My question is, or my point is that if illegitimate money is coming into the sport, then that means that legitimate money is getting pushed out. If you're coming into the sport with illegitimate money, as the documentary suggests, then that means that those with legitimate money are losing out. Apparently, one part in the documentary, the lady journalist went on the doorstep of the leader, the alleged head of MTK, and asked him, where's this money coming from? Because Barry McGuigan says, in a time of depression, boxing depression, the COVID era, you guys are pumping money into the sport. How is that possible? How are you pumping money into the sport that didn't come from the sport? How is that humanly possible? And says, well, we have a pool of money. Well, where the hell does that pool of money come from? And that was the question. How are you pumping money into the sport when the sport's in a depression? Everything else is on the down low. The money is on the down low, but you're pumping money into the sport. Highly improbable. Jalik, the leader.
Yeah, it's interesting what's going to happen, man. It's very they look like they really after that guy Kinahan. They really after that guy, and I don't know what's going to happen because a lot of people that's involved with, whether it be, you call it organized crime, it's people that they answer to. that may be perceived as being on the good side. You'd be surprised in politics who people deal with. You know what I mean? There's all types of secret societies. There's a lot of things that we don't know that people deal with on the low. So a lot of rich corporations, it's a lot of things that goes on with the stock market. And so it's a lot of things that a lot of behaviors that people do that are perceived as good, but it's real shiesty, but it's accepted. So that's why I say I don't know what's going to happen to the MTK Global. But Billy Joe, he needs he always let his mouth get him in trouble. Instead of him being quiet, opens his mouth once again, and he doesn't know how to control himself. So no matter what you look at it, if they got the heat on him, I don't know if they told him to say that. Instead of him not saying nothing, he gets out there and he's shooting himself in the foot. So
yeah,
it's very interesting. That even if he'll fight Canelo, to be honest with you.
That's a good question. Can someone verify that Jonesy ain't pigeon? Okay, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, just confirm that you are not the pigeon. Just drop a £1 super chat in the chat, so we can make sure that you're legitimate. Because Yak Face, aka Pigeon, he owes us £20, I believe, £20 or £10, and we ain't seen him since. So drop a £1 super chat in the chat so we can verify that you are not pigeon. Philip Khan Roberts, I'm going to get to you, Kong, in a second. Philip Khan Roberts says it looks the same as the program on BBC iPlayer, Rafi. It's the only one I could find. You can get it on iPlayer, but you need to register. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Our overseas friends. Yeah, I get you. Cool in the gang. Okay, Iron Kong. I don't know if you heard the question, but the question is if illegitimate money is coming into the sport via MTK, as is alleged by the BBC documentary Boxing and the Mob. 20 big ones wanted from Pigeon. Yeah, 20 big ones wanted from Pigeon. Jonesy, put a £1 super chat. So put a £1 super chat in the chat so we can verify you are who you say you are. Okay, so so the question is, if illegitimate money is coming into the sport, pushing out legitimate money, overriding legitimate money, pushing people out of business, potentially, is that what's the impact on the sport with that, the illegitimate money? Iron Kong. Iron Kong is muted. Iron Kong, I'm going to unmute Iron Kong. Try again. Damn. Are you unmuting at the same time I'm unmuting? Okay.
My stuff was breaking up bad. But look here.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, I already gave you the example of Pride FC and the Yakuza influence and how that eventually sunk Pride FC. You could never have gangsters involved in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Eventually, governments will come down on it because your business will be seen as you said, a money laundering operation conduit.
Yeah. And
they don't want that. So eventually, they will come down on the entire sport. So while it might seem like a windfall now for the fighters and some certain promoters, eventually.
Breaking up.
Can't hear Iron Kong. Can't hear the Iron Kong. What were you saying, Jalik?
I said they will come after you. You are right about that.
Yes.
They will come after you. It depends on, a lot of things, because a lot of things is just for publicity. If it wasn't known, because like you said, a lot of companies that you see, they was brought up on illegal activities too, but you would never know that because a lot of things people just don't research, as far as like with the stock market, even that in itself is kind of crazy once you break it down. So I don't know what's going to happen. It is interesting because it does. Are they for the people in the UK? Are they? Is it like they're on a witch hunt for Tyson Fury? Is like they really have to get him, or what's
it's nothing to do with Tyson Fury. It's about Daniel Kinahan.
Oh no. I'm just saying, is the media? How does the media in the UK?
No. No, they're not witch hunting him.
Yeah.
If anything, they're kind of
They used to.
they used to, but not anymore.
Yeah, because
Is the flavor of the month.
after he had a so-called mental breakdown. Nah, he's not the flavor of the month, right? He's protected by Frank Warren. That's why when he went with Frank Warren, he was open game because when he beat Fury, he came out and said all gay people are pedophiles. And there was a big hurrah about that. And also
when he beat Klitschko, when he beat
Klitschko, he came out with a lot of mad statements. And it was like, and he was in newspapers and he was harassed by BBC, right? But then consequently, as you go with Frank Warren, that's what you get. You get protection from because Frank Warren's got a lot of powerful people in the press, so they start changing the narrative. So any bad things about him, then he was getting protected in terms of they wouldn't put it out, they wouldn't put certain things out. So he's kind of protected right now. So if all this glove scandal or anything like that, that's why whether it's true or not, he would be protected because he's with Frank Warren, and that's what you pay for when you're with Don King sometimes, and you pay with Frank Warren. Not only do they do with the boxing. They pay for his damage control with PR control, which Wilder obviously is. Wilder's obviously lost the point. Even Al Heyman can help him in this regard. So that's what it is. And the UK press don't really focus him because he's based in America as well. So he's more of your side of the water where you guys kind of like him. So he's getting away with stuff, Donald Trump and that. If you like Donald Trump, you're gonna like Fury, innit? So.
Before you came on here, we had a guy acting as Daniel Dubois' PR guy. He's very good. Very good.
Just because Jalik don't like Dubois, and I was giving the opposite side. Jalik feels that I was acting like his PR guy, but that's okay. There's two sides to every coin. That's all cool in the gang. But Nigel Dennis makes us comment. He says nobody was worried about Saudi money paying for Joshua fight. Then why the big deal with the Kinahan drug money? He's small fry compared to the Saudis. Well, oil money is different from drug money, my friend. That's what I'll say to you. Oil money is different from drug money. You know what I'm saying? With oil money, you don't have people getting popped in the straight. You know what I'm saying? With the drug money, unfortunately, it brings decay to entire communities. Mothers, fathers, or sons rather, robbing from mothers. Mothers getting kind of strung out. It's inner. That drug shizzle is one of the root causes of inner city decay. That's my response to you, Nigel Dennis. OBZ says it's great for the sport, maybe not. Is it great for the sport? Maybe not. But would we be getting AJ Fury without MTK involvement? Of course we would. Of course we would. It's a good question, but I say of course we would. Why? What would Joshua was willing to take the fight? What are you saying? Fury would decline the fight because NTK money boosting his pay packet. Without that, it wouldn't be enough. If the best want to fight the best, then yes, we would be getting the fight without MTK Monet. That's my hypothesis. Jalik the leader. Would we be getting the fight without MTK Monet?
I think so. It's probably going to be less money.
Mm-hmm.
I think is Daniel Cunningham, I believe, is living in Dubai. So it's kind of Saudi Arabia and Dubai is not too far off. So it's probably going to lessen. It's going to lessen the pot, or he can still be involved, but they can hide it. I mean, come on. We know he can hide. He can just say somebody else did it. Like, it's not hard to hide it. So I think we'll still get the fight. But it probably will be delayed. It probably will be delayed, and it's probably going to be a little bit less money. But we'll see the fight.
We'll see the fight. EJ Boxing. Would we be getting this fight without MTK involvement?
Have we got the fight now? After that program, have we got the fight? Because I tell you what, yeah, if I'm Eddie Hearn and I'm Frank Warren and I'm Bob Aaron, and after the documentary come out, whether I choose to ignore it or not, the fact of the matter is is that at least you know this guy's reputation and his organization, what they're involved in. Tyson Fury's come out and said, thanks to Danny Killahan, the fight is happening of the century. After this is going on down, if I don't tell you that's pure damage control going on, there's damage control. Everyone's looking out for themselves. That's the people are. When anything goes down, if you know criminal things or police are involved, all their interests start thinking, well, boy, is it worth it? Is this worth it? So as you're saying, is the fight is going on. I don't know if the fight is going on 100% right now. I heard it is, but there's no paperwork right now. And if I'm Eddie Hearn, do I do that? Or do I say, you know what? Let's leave it alone. You know what we do? I say, well, let's defend the belt against Usyk in a sharp turn. If that happens, you know at that point they don't want nothing to do with Tyson Fury. And that's a real possibility, right? There's a real possibility that a documentary might have affected that. And I think, in all honesty, I think that'll probably be the most prudent move for you at this point. With the fight of the century, we won, but in the light of that documentary, and if I'm a businessman, I don't need that. I don't need that heat. I do not need that heat. Because listen to this. The whole fight is going to be scrutinized, the whole thing, around the whole circumstances. Why would you want to put yourself in that situation? If I'm Bob Arum, right, I'm looking at Tyson Fury as like, well, boy, even though I'm a lawyer, I can't get you out of this one, kid. You're on your own. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping Tyson. I'll probably drop Tyson Fury from Top Rank. Say, listen, you fight over in the UK. That's a possibility of what could happen. Now, is it going to happen? I'm not too sure. But I know me personally, corporate, when it comes down to corporate sponsors and stuff like that, is it worth it, mate? You know, is it really worth it at that point? You know, because you can fight other like PBC fighters and other fighters, and you don't need this much heat on you. You don't need that much heat. Eddie Hearn doesn't need that much heat. It's the fight the fans want, but for what over what circumstances, you know?
Well, there comes the question which I asked when you were off. I don't know if you heard it, but there comes the question of corporate responsibility. Can these big corporations, Sky Sports, what's the one, Top Rank? I don't know. What's the networks over in America? Whatever the networks are. Showtime.
Fox.
Fox. Showtime, Fox. Can they afford to be? Can they? BT Sports. Can they afford to be linked to nefarious entities?
Well, listen to this.
Yeah.
Well, Conor McGregor and the whole situation with the Russians happened in the UFC. Yeah, he's still got his advert for his drink, Proper 10, whatever that drink's called,
Proper
right?
12. Proper 12.
Proper 12. Yeah, Proper 12. That's that drink still going on, even though he used the dummy to smash into a coach, allegedly raping women and all hitting an old man in the pub and all kinds of nefarious stuff. Because you understand, in America, it's full of a lot of Irish and Scottish people immigrate from there, and it's it's full of other, but a lot of powerful people in America are Irish. So Fox themselves, I'm sure they look at that situation. So he's one of ours anyway. So I don't think America's worried about that. I don't think America is what is. So it happens over there. But in the other understanding that America, they don't really kind of mess. I don't know, man. I don't know, because we're talking about maybe thuggish behavior, but we're not talking about gangsterism. We're talking about gangsterism where a man from one end of the country into the other, and it's not Irish people. It seems like a lot of Irish people are not really friends with the Killahan, with the Irish media. They're not really friends with the Killahan, and that carries a lot of weight. It does carry a lot of weight. So I'm just saying to you, like, if you because what they put out is like, at least you know what you're involved in. This is it. By the way, Rafi, one of your subscribers in the chat has put the documentary on YouTube. Yeah,
it's not the right link.
No, it is. No, I pressed it. I'm watching it now. Yeah, it is. Yep, it is.
You are?
Yeah.
You press that link.
Yeah. I pressed it and it works perfectly. Just letting you know. What's the guy's name?
Philip Carl Roberts.
Yeah. That works. 100% that works. Yep.
I copied and pasted. You just pressed it. I copied and pasted. You just pressed it.
Yeah, I pressed it. I've just pressed it now. It works. So I'm looking at it now on it. So
let me have another go. Okay. And in comes. Can I play with madness? Introduce yourself, my friend. Oh, he's muted. He's having technical difficulties.
The fight doctor is in the house and is on Rick James status as always. What's going on, gentlemen?
It's all cooking over here. It's cooking over here. I'm just looking for that link again. Let me press that link and see what happens.
Well, I've got the link.
I've got it. I've got it.
Works 100%.
I've got it. It's good. Oh, yes. I pressed it. It works. It works, Phil. It works. I copied and pasted it, and it didn't work then. But just pressing the link works. Okay, so let me see if I can. Oh no, I can't go back. I ain't going back. Okay, so Fight Doctor. Yeah, we're talking about the. Did you see the documentary? The what's it called? Boxing and the Mob, about the Keenahan MTK connection with Tyson Fury and on the Undisputed Fight. Did you see the documentary?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Okay, so let me put the link, copy that, paste that. Let me put the link in the chat. Let me put it in the chat again in case. Where am I? Here I am.
But, boxing and organized crime have a long, storied history.
Boxing and the Mob. Boxing and the Mob. Okay, so it's back there. Boom. Okay, so it's back there in the chat. Okay, so yeah, long storied history. Boxing has a long storied history with the Mob, indeed. But this is the 21st century now. Where are we? The 21st century. Can you put the link back in here? The link, yeah. Boom. That one, the link for the show. There it is. That's the link for Boxing and the Mob. Thank you, James. That's invaluable. I hadn't seen it properly yet. Okay, yeah. So the problem now is that can this, if it is true that it is illegitimate money, can this have a detrimental effect? Illegitimate money coming into the sport, pushing out real money, pushing out good money. Can that have a detrimental effect on the sport? And before you answer that, yeah, folks, make sure that you smash the like button. The like button is way down from the amount of people who have viewed. So anybody who has not hit the like button, please kindly do so. Didn't think I had to remind you, but evidently I do. So we're talking about bad money pushing out good money. Fight Doctor.
Okay, so wait a minute. The bad money, yeah.
Pushing out good money.
Boxing has always been financed by bad money. I mean, when has that not been the case? Okay, we're talking about like Saudi Arabia, right? I mean, do you think that's good money? That's not good money. That's bad money.
Saudi Arabia is bad money.
It's bad money. Okay.
Mm.
I mean, the country is run by thugs and dictators and people who are, on some days of the week, even terrorists. So, that's bad money. And then let's look, I'm not going to put it all on other folks' countries. I'm going to shine a light on my own country. Okay. Las Vegas drives the boxing industry in this country. Las Vegas is gambling and prostitutes. And that's what it is. I'm sorry. It's gangsters, gambling, and prostitutes. Mm-hmm. That's Las Vegas. That's bad money. Okay. Been that way ever since. So when has boxing ever been driven by good money? I don't know that has ever been the case.
Okay. So we got a situation here where it looks like Barry McGuigan is losing fighters to MTK. And it looks like it's been alleged by the documentary that is the money from MTK is drug money, illicit money, nefarious money. And my question is, if this money is allowed into the sport, does that push out legitimate businesses?
Boxing is not a legitimate business. Never has been.
I mean, would it not be fair to say you have legitimate areas in boxing, legitimate operators and illegitimate operators?
Well,
okay,
yeah,
so
I was gonna say quickly, yeah. Also, just let you know, the Josh Taylor fight and the Ramirez fight is moved off the May 8th. Yeah, because I think it's conflicting the Sanders and Canelo fight. But I'm trying to say to you, like, you see that ready, the cards are starting to fall down, in it. Like in terms of the Josh Taylor versus the Ramirez fight, that was supposed to go ahead, and then you got the Canelo. See, Canelo versus Saunders. We're talking about the Mexican cartel. See, let's be real now. Do we want to start talking gangsters? We have to go in. Where he is in Guadalajara, Mexico, that's one of the most viciousest like cartel in Mexico. And I don't know if Canelo knows them people, but allegedly, I'm not too sure. I'm not saying Canelo does rep them, but he's from that side of the woods, yeah. And then you have obviously with the Irish, the Kinahan gangsters. That's going to be interesting how that goes down. You know what I'm saying to you? But Bob Arum is already this fight with with Josh Taylor is pulled out. You see what I'm trying to say? And I started to think to myself,
no, but that fight had to change anyway. That fight date had to change anyway because it's a conflict. It's a conflict.
But what I'm saying is that the chips, yeah, even though you can use legitimate reasons why certain fights are not happening, fine. But what I'm saying to you is that in bearing light of the documentary, now you have to keep a close eye on those so-called MT Global dates and what's going on and see if it's made an impact, because the panorama, as we've seen with Jalik and our American friends over there, they've seen it. And in Australia, they've seen it, every English speaking, and I'm sure they've got translations in different countries, and people seeing it slowly. It's being shifted around the world. And the Irish media are very powerful in Ireland. They're making sure that it gets to every people who need to know what people you're dealing with here. So to make sure they shut down that operation. Go ahead.
Well, Panorama was the big push because I've been following the story for some time now. And I've been following it recently as well, the response to the Panorama show and what they're saying over there in Ireland, because they have a prominent female journalist. I forget her name, but she's saying that the Panorama being so widespread, being so widely viewed, that has been the biggest push so far. So even though they've been covering it in Ireland and I covered it, I think I'm one of the first boxing channels that touched it. Did a 2-hour live on it. Go back into my library, folks. Just go into my channel and write Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio and just type in Daniel Kinahan, or if you can't spell that, just type in MTK. The Fight Doctor. Fight Doctor's cooking them damn mushrooms. Jalik, the leader, we're coming to the end of the show. I think we've said pretty damn much.
No, sorry about that. My stupid mute button was not working.
Okay, no problem. We're coming to the end of the show, Fight Doctor. So, just have your say. Just say what's on your mind on this topic.
Well, if anybody is surprised, and I'm surprised that you're surprised, because
what am I surprised about? What am I surprised about?
That boxing is a dirty business. I've been saying that since day one.
Am I surprised that there has been involvement from nefarious sources in boxing? Of course, I'm not surprised. I'm aware of the history of boxing.
I mean, like your good friend Rick Glazier, right?
Yeah.
The guy who he likes to defend is a murderous gangster thug.
He was pardoned. He was pardoned by his state. He doesn't have any murder, and it wasn't murder. It was what was he call it? Self-defense, I think, and that he's been pardoned of that. That is no longer on his criminal record. His criminal record is clean. Doesn't even got a parking ticket on it.
Okay. Whatever you say, my friend. I mean, whatever you say. Look, it is what it is. If people want to look up at 12 noon and declare that the moon is shining bright, it is what it is. Who am I to argue?
Okay? But you haven't got. That's the same thing with Killahan. He hasn't got a criminal record, but everyone knows that he's done nefarious things. Yes, Don King done nefarious things. Yeah, he has. He admitted that. But in terms of killing someone, we wasn't there. And then, like Rafi said, if it's self-defense or whatever, or he allegedly killing someone, that he apologized for, and I'm sure the family or whatever has been. He's done more good things in his life than bad things. But Don King be over that one thing. We're talking about we're talking about killing and overkilling and drug dealing, setting up. You know, like in the black community where there was drugs flooding through the community and killing the people. That's what happened in Ireland. Like literally turn them into zombies and shooting and killing. Literally left the place in state. Then not only you take that, they go to Spain, and then the whole thing happens in Spain. Boxers getting shot, boxers getting thrown off balconies. Like this, and then now we're in Dubai. We don't know what's happening in Dubai because maybe Dubai they're not putting out there. What kind of madness they doing over there, right? So that they ain't got nothing for Don King.
Dubai seems to be protecting. Seems to be a harborer. Dubai appears to be a harborer of criminals right now. Criminals with lots of money. That's why Ireland can't get because they don't have an extradition treaty with the UK or Ireland. However, the female journalist Monica, what the hell her damn name is? She's saying that
Monica Talbot, that's her name. Monica Talbot.
Okay.
Talbot, yeah.
Okay, Talbot. That doesn't sound very Irish. I don't know, but it might be.
Talbot, yeah. Talbot, it's Irish.
Okay. So Monica, whatever. She says that it's just a matter of time now. It's just a matter of time because apparently Dubai every now and then they throw some of those criminals out. Every now and then they just round up a bunch and throw them out. So she's saying it's only a matter of time. The Irish police, Gardaí, the European police. There's a European police force. They have been in contact with Dubai, and it's only a matter of time now, maybe 2 years.
They haven't got no witnesses though, so they could. She's saying that, but they ain't got no witnesses. I mean, if they want to get extradited, they should do that in Spain. They could. I mean, that stuff is alleged, like that stuff though. But even they're talking about that. What you're talking about killing. I'm talking about. I'm talking about the laundering. The laundering. Oh, yeah, but
and they've got a big case. They're confident. They're confident because what's happened over there is that the associates of Kinahan, from the bottom to the top, they have been getting picked off and jailed. So she's saying it's only a matter of time that once Dubai say okay, because Dubai every now and then they'll have a roundup and they'll extradite some, even though they don't have extradition.
Yeah, but what about Russia? You still got Russia and Cuba, like you got Korea. There's no place you can go, you know?
I mean, does he want to be in Russia? Does he want to be in Cuba? Does he want to? He definitely don't want to be in Korea. I know that much. So I know that much. So I've seen the food markets. So it's only a matter of time. Jalik the leader, as we close out.
Man, thanks for having me on there. Shout out to UK. Shout out to Raphael, aka the best PR rep in the game. Hi, Dr. DJ, everybody in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen because that documentary was very interesting. Are they going to have the fight? What's going to happen to Tyson Fury's career afterwards? Because he can still have a career. He doesn't necessarily need Daniel Cunningham to box. You know what I mean? But it does bring in that money. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, man. That's all I'm going to say on that one because I'm not. Y'all more in tune with the over there because I'm just going by what I see over here. But y'all more in tune with it. But it's like y'all said, it's a snowball effect because it is going to affect everything. And don't be surprised if the Canelo and Saunders fight don't happen.
Yep, there you go.
It's going to be interesting.
His mouth again. He always opening his mouth and then saying sorry.
It is going to be interesting. So that was Jalik the leader. And then your final words from the Fight Doctor. Fight Doctor, your final words, please. Yeah, thanks for coming on, Jalik the leader. You should come around more often.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thanks for having me.
100%. The Fight Doctor, your final words, please.
Yeah, so I'm not abreast of all the facts. I will watch that documentary this evening and get caught up. But I mean, this doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, boxing is a dirty business. It always has been. Okay, I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez was an associate of known gangsters, and if I'm not mistaken, they sort of financed him. So, you know, the same is probably true for Canelo Alvarez. It's probably how he was so easily able to get out of that contract with Golden Boy. Okay,
Speculation.
Okay. Well, listen, it's called good business. Okay, you know, you listen. You make them an offer they can't refuse, and it's difficult to refuse an offer from a man who's holding a gun to your head. So maybe, you know, that was a situation. Who knows? You know, but yeah, this is you know, par for the course. This is how boxing has been run traditionally. You know, and apparently still is. So, you know.
Okay, that was the Fight Doctor. Thanks for coming over for the Fight Doctor, and thank you to Last One for putting some color in the chat, setting example for the laggers. You've been in here for 2 hours enjoying the damn thing and couldn't even hit that super chat button. Come on now, guys, need to step your game up. Put some color in the chat if you appreciate the content. Much appreciated. Okay, so that was the last one leading the way. Who else we got? We got EJ Boxing. Your final words. Oh, thank you, Fight Doctor, for coming over. Much appreciated, as per usual. And then we come to the EJ Boxing Live.
Nice one, Rafi. Yeah, the full title. Rafi's getting used to it now. Good job.
Yeah, you insisted last time. I'm sure you don't call me Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio when I come over to your joint. But Rafi, since you were so insistent, I thought, okay, let me oblige EJ.
I appreciate it, Rafi. So if I'm AJ's people, and I'm thinking about it, this hit me right now. They're very religious. They're very Christian. He listens to his mum. He listens to his father. And I'm telling you, if his family and his sister and them have watched that documentary, they'd be putting it on AJ not to take that fight. 100%. And because what it is that their spirit will tell you it doesn't feel right. Yeah. AJ will probably say, no, don't worry about it. It'll be all right. You know, this, that, the other. But AJ, even himself, must be thinking, you know what? This is maybe a bit too much. I mean, I beat a man in the ring, but this stuff here of what they put out.
EJ.
Yeah.
There is no shortage of Nigerian gangsters around the world, my friend.
So listen, right? Listen, I understand what you're saying, yeah, but we're talking about, okay, you're right. Because I'm not even getting into, I'm talking about he's Christian, though. Talking about his Christian family. I know they're very religious, so I'm not talking about Nigerian gangsters. You're not religious. I'm talking about AJ's particular family who are very religious and very Christian. They go church every Sunday. His sister, she goes church. They're always preaching ceremonies on church because I see his sister on Instagram and on Facebook. Yeah, they're always doing religious. So I'm going to stick with that. I know, not Nigerian more involved of killing all that stuff. No, thinking with that. His family, right, who listens to him, his team is going to listen to you. And I'm sure at some point, they're going to say to him, I don't know if we should take this fight. And then go, what do you mean? Well, look at the stuff that's been put out there. Going into the negotiations, going into that fight, is that what you really want to get involved with? This nefarious thing. Now, AJ, right? Let's get it right. Has had some trouble with the police, young, but that got cleaned out, and he doesn't want nothing to do with that. I'm sure again, and he wants to be a role model for kids. So he understands about a second chance. But this one is so on the eve of his biggest fight of his career for undisputed. You need to have all the things need to be cleaned up. There's a lot of things need to be cleaned up, right? For that fight to happen. And first and foremost, you'd want this Fury to come out, have no dissociation with the Kinahans. But having saying that, you can't say that because he's with MT Global. So if you're the team Joshua, Rafi, thinking about the stuff you've just seen, your team Joshua, your Robert McCracken.
I'm taking the fight. I'm making career high payday. Them things there are for them guys over there. But basically, the money is going into my bank account. I'm clean. If the other guy's not clean, that's on him. I'm clean. If the other guy's not clean, that's on him.
Yeah, but we're talking about, okay. I guess you made me miss my point in terms of maybe you feel like there might be some bending in arms influence. If they're influencing the BBC Panorama team about the documentary, then how you know they're going to influence AJ in the fight with Fury is my point. That's
I
what
don't
I'm trying
think.
to
I don't. Are you suggesting they can buy AJ to
No,
lose?
yes, that's what. Remember, this is what we're
Well,
dealing with.
AJ's guys, they was just saying no. You know, Grange
I
Hill.
bet they can buy the judges.
What's that?
Yeah,
What's
they're gonna buy the judges. Exactly. There you
I
go.
bet they can buy the judges. They can buy the referee. They could listen. They could make them an offer that they can't refuse. Okay, trust.
Are you aware of the? Are you aware of the mafia trials in Italy back in the day?
I'm just talking about Panorama right now, bro. I'm just
Are you aware? Are you guys aware of the mafia trials in Italy back in the day, where they basically had procedures where they could find out and they could secure clean judges? My friend, this corruption in boxing is not a new thing. Mafia involvement was wiped out of boxing for the main part. In the main, there are procedures that can be taken and that will be taken to ensure that this is a good, clean fight. Cleaner than apple pie, American apple pie.
Okay, Mayweather fought Canelo, right?
Yeah.
And we know that, like I said, with the Mexican gangsters. So how come even in that so-called clean fight, it was a draw? Not a draw. One of the judges had it for Canelo. Even in that fight, there, you know what I'm trying to tell you, and that what I'm trying to say.
EJ, clearly they have to take steps to ensure. What I'm saying, I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying is they have to take steps to ensure that the fight is cleaner than clean. They have to take steps to ensure that all the officials are clean to the best of their abilities. But can I say the fight is going to be 100% without any MTK Global? No, I cannot say that.
Yes.
But so what? So you're suggesting that it can't be a clean fight with MTK Global involvement? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying right as now, if I'm Team AJ, I'm being prudent. Do we need the fight? Absolutely. Right. In these circumstances, if you're AJ's team, right, and AJ's about like positive thing on the light of what's happened, we don't need to fight him right now. On light of what's happened, we don't need to fight him right now. If I'm AJ's team, I'm thinking it's in AJ's best interest is to stand back and fight someone else. That's what I'm telling you. I wouldn't get into negotiations with that sort of stuff hanging over the fight. No, sirree, not me. I wouldn't get into that. Negotiation is done, and AJ needs to move on, right, and fight Usyk instead, and let Fury go do something else with his life.
Okay,
I let the belt be if Fury vacates the belt, then we come back and then we fight. But that fight right there.
What do you mean come back and fight? There's still going to be MTK Global money in it, though. Why delay the fight now and then fight later when Keenan's still going to be involved?
Fury still got to wash up the stick with Wilder. So go fight Wilder. Let him go fight Wilder. Wilder don't mind fighting under them circumstances. I'm saying if I'm AJ's team, I'm not going ahead with this after what's just come out in this situation. It's prudent not to do that.
Okay, and I'm saying if I'm AJ's team, we are going forward to undisputed. The fight doctor. If you're AJ's team, what are you doing? Are you going forward with it, or are you saying no? Let's let Fury go and fight Wilder.
Well, it would all depend on if there's a gun being held to my head or not. Now, if there's a gun being held to Joshua's head, then the obvious answer is yes, I'm going to go ahead with the fight. If there is not a gun being held to his head, then I think if it's not going to be level and square and everything is above table, then he should pass.
He should pass.
If the dirty money is backing his opponent, and it looks to me like that's the situation, he should take a pass.
Okay, and with that on that controversial note, we come to the end of the show. People are talking about they could threaten AJ. Yo, my friend, there's plenty of Nigerian gangsters out there. Don't worry about that. AJ is protected. So, yeah, controversial ending to the show. We got two guys saying AJ shouldn't take the fight. Remember, the question was Joshua versus Fury. Is it in jeopardy? And we got two guys on the panel here saying AJ should walk away. AJ should walk away. So, we have a controversial ending to the show. Sure, that's going to lead to some comments in the permanent comment section. So I'm going to leave it right there. It's on a cliffhanger. Which way is this fight even going to happen now? Fascinating times, fascinating stuff. And I'm pretty sure I dropped the link that Philip Conor Roberts was so kind to provide. And I'm going to watch. Yeah, it's there. It's there at 11:35 p.m. That's the timestamp. I don't know if it shows that on the YouTube. I can see it over here on my streaming service. So, gentlemen, EJ Boxing, thank you very much for coming over and spending some time over here at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. The Fight Doctor, likewise. And to everybody else, oh yeah, the Iron Kong came on first. And then we had Jalik, the leader, also. Thank you all who jumped in on the panel, and to everybody else in the chat who took the time out. Remember, you could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you chose to spend it over here, the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, and hopefully you were entertained. And of course, much appreciation goes out to the last one who was kind and considerate enough to make the chat litty. Okay, so Raphael Dawkins is the Combat Radio. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio. And we are out. Blessed.
Blessed.